Hello, everyone. Jane here from Your Way Weight Loss. Hi, Leash.
Well, hello.
Well, hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today's a good day for us. So it's March 2nd. Everyone's wondering what we're doing right now. Have you seen the internet? They want to know everything we ate yesterday on March 1st, which is hilarious. So today you're listening to this, and we're going to talk about vacations. But yeah, we can definitely give you a little bit of an update on what has happened since we stopped eating Tim Hortons for the past 30 hours.
Yeah, barely. Like it's barely been a day.
I know. How was last night?
It was great. I ate too much.
Okay. I also ate too much yesterday. I feel like the internet needs to know what happened, like in terms of like why, what was happening in your brain. I can definitely share what was happening in mine.
I don't know. Like I actually don't know if it was in my brain. It was like a release. Like it wasn't a loss of control. I was very like in the moment choosing to overeat.
Yes. And I love that. Yes. Okay, keep going. How was drinking? How was drinking? People want to know about your drinking.
It was great. But like to be honest, I didn't have a great night's sleep. I don't feel amazing right now. And I like gave myself a little pep talk and I was like, you probably didn't need a whole bottle of wine. Did you need to drink as fast as that? Could you have drank water in between? Like, it's just like me having those conversations with myself and, we'll see. So I like woke up a little bit like, really, Alicia, like, the first day and you drank a whole bottle of wine.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I almost ate a loaf of bread. So there you go. For me, as I was making those choices, I love that you pointed that out. I think that that's a big, and that's almost undervalued in success sometimes, but I do believe that a part of us being almost staying connected to who we want to be and our success with weight loss or whatever is just so being so honest, but also being so in control. So even if the choices sometimes don't align with the success you're looking for, being in control and having that quality or that ability is actually a part of the long-term game, the long-term success. Because do not think that having success in life, whether it's marriage, work, or weight loss, that it means you're always doing the choice that aligns with that success. Right. So even if I want a happy marriage, does it mean that I always choose to like be like, hi, Jeffrey, love you, Jeffrey? Like, absolutely not. Right. So it's our choice. But when I choose to be like, have a conversation or an argument, even it's I'm in it very much present, and it's a choice. I'm also taking ownership of it, of me choosing to have an argument about something, and sometimes me choosing not to have one. So yesterday was definitely choices over and over. Absolutely. I was very present in what I was doing.
Yeah, me too. Like I didn't feel loss of control. And you know what? Actually, I'm feeling, and I'm happy that I'm feeling it. I thought I was going to feel different. I do not feel afraid of gaining the weight back because I know I'm in control.
Right.
And I also like had a conversation with someone that we were out with last night and or at their house, and we were talking about like, having lost 7 pounds or whatever, and like almost like trading that for my lifestyle. And I feel really comfortable choosing my lifestyle versus choosing that thinnerness.
Yeah. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't feel like
Yeah.
I thought I was going to feel like almost afraid of food or like, oh, you failed. Oh, you're already like, I don't actually. I'm like, you have your whole life ahead of you. If you gained 6 pounds yesterday, you wake up tomorrow, you start showing up as who you want to be tomorrow. Like, I don't have that like timeline stress pressure anymore.
That's amazing. And that's what we want for everyone, actually. And
Yeah.
I feel the exact same way. What we did, it's kind of ironic because can I say, I'm going to share this. It's almost like I was, let's say I was to gain the weight back yesterday. That doesn't happen. You don't gain all the way back in one day, but let's say, okay, it's almost like, I was like, should I be eating Tim Hortons again to lose the weight again? You like almost put that food or that meal plan on a pedestal. Like that's the only way. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? Do you feel that? I felt that for
Yes.
a second. Isn't that ridiculous? I was like, oh, I could just eat my belt again at 10 a.m. Like it was like magical. And I'm like, Josee, you are, let's be rational here. And I said, you know exactly, you got so much awareness out of this experiment that if you wanted to maintain this weight, you know exactly what that means. If you gain the weight back because you chose to overeat for, I don't know, 3 weeks, a month, whatever, and you gain that whole 7 pounds back, well, you know exactly that if you were to consume about 2,000 calories a day, you would lose weight. So you could just create that your way. It doesn't have to be Tim Hortons. It could be whatever. So there's just so much awareness there for me. It's been not even 30 hours, guys, since we're done. And there's so much to unfold, uncover, think about. I don't know. And as for me, I also made the choices to like, oh, I'd like to eat that. I'd like to eat this. I think what I did yesterday, last night, especially last night, I think people would label that as like binging. Cause like, I just like, oh, another toast. Oh, another this. Oh, I'm done with this bowl of ice cream. I'd like to do this. Like it was like, but I was having the conversations before. And then after it was done, I'm like, what am I trying to fill? What am I trying? What is this? What is this feeling I'm trying to fill up with bread right now? And it's hilarious, but it really is and it was almost like,
To be fair, I do feel like toast is one of those things that I could eat 10 pieces.
absolutely.
Like I really feel that way.
I mean, it's hilarious because I ended up eating 2 pieces of bread last night, but it was like after a bowl of ice cream and then after smart food, popcorn, cheddar. Like it was just like one thing. I went from salty to sugar to salty to sugar. And I think a lot of people would relate to like that, like, oh, that now I want this, now I want that. And then I started to think, and I was like, you know what, Josee? For the whole month of February, you were on a weight loss journey. You lost 7 pounds in 1 month. You, in some ways, restricted. You lost a lot of weight. That's a lot of weight in 1 month. And without even knowing it, and without almost feeling it in the moment, you were restricting. Like you were restricting yourself of your life. You were restricting yourself of calories because you lost 7 pounds in a month. That's quite a significant deficit. You didn't have to lose 7 pounds in a month. It could have been 2 pounds and you would have maybe not ended up eating what you just ate once it was done. And I think that we don't realize sometimes when we are on a certain menu, whatever, and we're like losing those massive amount of pounds that we're in some ways restricting our bodies and also our minds and our lifestyle of things. And only once we're off, we go the total opposite because we missed out on like that feeling sometimes. And even in that moment, you don't feel restricted. My behavior yesterday proved that I did feel restricted.
And also proves that you're still does not matter how sexy your meal plan looks.
Yeah.
Like crazy to think you eating 60 donuts-ish in a month, you could still feel restricted.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
it's actually shocking. There's a lot about this documentary that's actually shocking to us. We're really pumped about it. Okay. So today we want to talk about vacations. So as you're listening to this, I am hopefully enjoying some sunshine on my face with, of course, I had said FPS and I think it's SPF. And then someone made fun of me and I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. And then one really sweet person was like, FPS en français. It's the French version of SPF. And she was like, so you actually said it right. Because I like wrote another thing and I was like, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I said FPS. And she's like, you said FPS because c'est en français. So, and I was like, oh, that's why it naturally came to me as FPS. But anyways, all is good. So hopefully I am on vacation and I'd love to chat with you and Alicia as well. She can chat about her way on vacation, but I've like come a long way about my vacations. And so I have a lot to say.
I think that the world is opening a little bit. I'm seeing humans going on vacation. I mean, and you know what? Vacation doesn't necessarily have to mean on a plane and in Florida either. Like vacation is like 2 days at the Airbnb that I'm booking in March or whatever. Sometimes it can be like a weekend away. That's vacation. So,
right.
And how do we act on vacation?
Yeah. Okay, so let's just dive into it. So vacation, again, doesn't have a time. So it's not oh, if it's just one day, then it's not vacation. If it's over 7 days, it's whatever. So knowing that, that definitely though plays a role on maybe the extent of, I don't want to use the word damage, because there's never any damage done. You are just living your life, everyone. We don't have to say that gaining a certain amount of weight means damage, but for the sake of lack of another word, Vive pas, Alicia going to a 2-day Airbnb vacation with her family versus me leaving for 18 days is quite, I need to plan differently on how I want to behave and maybe the effects of this 3 weeks on my overall lifestyle when I get back.
Yep. It for sure, depending on the length of time, I think that it would be smart to just look at it differently. Like
Yeah.
I can go and not even think about it and it cannot impact me long term. But honestly, 3 weeks is a long time.
Yeah. And so for me, the aspects that I'm looking into is like moving my body or
Yes.
how am I going to show? Because we obviously are like, we're not always eating out. We're obviously eating at home. It's like, obviously we go to the grocery store and whatever. So I'm the one making the choices of what's going to be in that kitchen, right? Just as I am in my own kitchen. So recognizing that how you label your vacation also makes a big difference. So if you're like, this is an all or nothing, I'm going to just fill up the VRBO house with cinnamon buns and chips and alcohol and whatever. And there's almost, you don't have access to making a different choice. There's no chicken, there's no wraps, there's no, like, what will you be eating for lunch? Kind of planning a little bit as you would at home. That's definitely going to make a difference.
Okay, let's give them a little view into vacation Josee, maybe like, let's say 5 years ago. What was vacation Josee 5-ish years ago?
Oh my goodness, you guys. So vacation Josee 5 years ago was an escape of her life. And I did not know that that's what it was. It was like I couldn't coexist vacation with how I lived my life before vacation or like without vacation. What I mean by that is, let's say my everyday lifestyle, it's like I couldn't live that life on vacation, whether like out of New Brunswick, basically. So I didn't know this, but you only figure out after. It's like I didn't know while we were eating Tim Hortons that I felt deprived in that sense, or that I maybe even felt hungry, or maybe I didn't. I don't know, but definitely the way I'm behaving is telling me there's a message. Well, why the heck was I behaving that way on vacation? There was a message there. The message was telling me something about my regular lifestyle. Why do you feel like when you're on vacation, you don't want to exercise? Maybe you don't like the exercise that you do in regular life. Why do you feel that when you're on vacation, you need to eat everything and all you're thinking about is you have a grocery list of just complete low nutrient dense foods? Is it because you feel stripped of that in your regular life? I just thought that's what it was on vacation. I had never like seen it in a different form.
That was the habit that you had created. At the end of the day, how I do vacation is different from how you do vacation. But people think it's just, well, this is vacation. No, that's your perception of vacation. And it was almost like you didn't realize there was another option.
Absolutely. And I agree with you. Definitely a habit, but there was also an underlying message that I never listened to.
Absolutely.
That it was like, why do you feel like you need that? So for example, if people are like, my summers need to look like this at the cottage or at the camper or whatever, definitely habit is in there. But there's also a reason why there's an underlying message is, why do you think you need to behave that way or eat that way? Why don't you want to continue your regular lifestyle, but just at the camper? There's a reason, there's something there. So just like look into that, you guys.
I also think how you used to prep for vacation played a big role. It wasn't even just your day-to-day life. It was then, and then like the prep was intense.
The prep was so intense. I would definitely up my game when January hit, and I would up my game up until I left. What I mean by upping my game is like I definitely created a lifestyle where I was in calorie deficit. I would definitely up my exercise. I would just like kind of put myself on this journey and this different lifestyle for me to prep myself for the crazy overindulging vacation that I thought I needed. But really, I only needed that type of a vacation because of how I prepped for it. Wow, full circle. So I've never realized that that's until that one time in 2019 where I didn't prep for my vacation. I just continued living my life because I don't know if it's because I was like a new mom. I had there was like no time, like I didn't have any effort to put in. It was like, this is good enough. I am just trying to like, Noah was just 6 months old when like that January hit. So not even. So it was like, you don't have time to like put hours at the gym. And also like I was trying to, your weight loss was really busy, right? We were going from 2019 to 2020. So
that was a traumatic year.
So there was no time for me to ultimately focus on me and trying to like create like fat loss, you know? So I had that routine in my life for so long, and all of a sudden it had been broken by having a baby and like just life. And so I arrived on vacation not feeling exhausted of my lifestyle. Like I really enjoyed the exercise I did. I really enjoyed how I was eating. I also had way more knowledge on calorie deficit. That's when like I had really practiced it, you know? And I was gone for 2 weeks in Grand Cayman and ended up gaining 2 pounds, which is in 2 weeks. I moved my body every morning. I loved what I did for moving my body. We actually I used it as a way to love my life and not exercise, like losing weight. Like Jeff and I would go for a walk or a run every morning and leave the kids with my parents, you know, on the beach. Like that's freaking epic.
Right there, you guys. She gets Jeff beside her. No children. There's time to talk. Are we talking on this run?
No, we're just like, look at
staring
us
into each other's eyes.
Absolutely. I love you. You love me. But that's when I realized that that vacation look was so different. Like I want you to know, all of you, that literally I would go out of my way to not move my body while I was on vacation because I had labeled that when you're on vacation, you don't move your body. And I didn't realize that there was an underlying message there that what I used to do to move my body before leaving for vacation, I actually didn't really enjoy. And that's why I wanted a vacation from it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I lived my life that way. I got my success that way. Like life is good. I was happy. I just like creating awareness. You know?
It's just a part of your story. It's like, me having tracked or me dunning Atkins. Like it's just a part of our story, and we've grown and matured and learned and evolved, and it's just a part of it. I want to know when you would come back. So, and I know that sometimes you would gain like a very significant amount of weight. There was one time where you just like missed a decade, right? You like left. Did you leave?
I left at 158 and I arrived at 171. I just skipped all the 160s in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, 13 pounds.
And what would you do when you came home normally? Like after having a large gain after vacation, would that then also spark that cycle again? Would you usually go into hardcore mode or no?
Yeah, I would. I would go into weight loss mode again.
Okay.
I had figured out a really good way for me to live that life of overindulging when I was on vacation and coming back and getting back to my goals. Like I had created that. So ultimately that way of doing things had not affected my journey of losing the weight and keeping it off. But I'm way prouder of like how I show up now on vacation. And it's like, and vivez pas without knowing. That's what happens when you're in the moment. You don't know that that's what you're doing, you guys. It's only when you like see yourself almost out of your body and you're like, why are you doing that? Like, why is that how you're behaving? And then actually holding on to that feeling and deciding that you want to change something. It's like me. And I've you just opened up and said, you did Atkins or you tracked really hardcore, and now we're not doing that. Well, it's like me almost using my weekends to escape my weekdays.
Yeah.
And now I don't do that anymore. But doing that didn't stop me from my success. It just stopped me from really enjoying fully my life,
Yeah, and almost like that cycle was almost the same, but then on vacation for longer periods of time. Do you know what I mean? Like you would do the 5-day really quite strict and then give her on the weekend and then back. That was your cycle. That was your system.
That was my system.
That was your system. And we're never going to say that's right, that's wrong. I think it's just about creating awareness around why you're acting a certain way, and is that who you want to be? Like, is who you want to be on vacation the person that gives her from day to night and feels uncomfortably stuffed? Like, honestly, and lays on the couch, you can say that's who I want to be, and I'm like, good for you.
And the thing is, you know what I'm just realizing is that what we're doing by talking about it is just saying there's also another way. Like you said earlier, I think you said it in this podcast, you said like, there's also this, it's like, sometimes you don't think there's another way to do it.
You don't.
You literally don't, like, until the moment where I realized that my way, so the, you know, the restrictive and then the giving her on the weekend, was actually stopping me from going out to lunch during the week. And it was stopping me from feeling like I had more freedom. And then I realized I wanted that. So in order for me to have that, I needed to really create a better relationship with my weekend. So like, see how there's like awareness there and working on it. It doesn't just happen overnight. It's like, you have to have awareness. So when I realized that it sucked, it really did suck coming back from a vacation and having to hop on a weight loss journey again and to lose that 7 pounds or whatever. And people might say like, it's not a real 7 pounds. Oh, trust me, it was real. It was full of nuggets and Big Macs. And so for me, it wasn't just like water retention. No, like it was, you overconsumed for 3 weeks or 2 weeks. Like it was, you needed to get back on the horse. No? And I just like, when I realized that sucked, and I realized, you know what, you could go for a walk on vacation. Have you ever thought of that? And it was like, is walking enough? Like before I got to my walking journey, and like, there was just like, I needed to live life a little, you guys. I needed to like experiment.
So as you guys are listening to this, I'm just going to share a few of my things that I do to show up as the person I want to be on vacation. Josee maybe can add to it. And then hopefully the next time you guys go on vacation, you can feel like you're showing up as who you want to be. Maybe you can feel more in control. So like we already touched on, for me, it's huge that if you actually like the way you move your body, if you actually like the food that you eat on a day-to-day basis, then you will see that when you're on vacation, you have less of a desire to have a full escape from that. So because I love walking, that's easy for me. When I'm on vacation, I stay active. I just go for a walk, move my body, really prioritize water. Right, Josee?
Right. Oh my goodness. Did you see that? Someone asked me, do you think water is the answer to weight loss? I was like, since I drink about a cup a day, the answer for me is no.
But funny. I really prioritize my water because I find that's something I'm out of a habit. I actually, if I'm on vacation too for like a week, I do try and create like a system, a routine almost like you did in Cayman Islands. Like, okay, in the morning, you're going to take my kids and I'm going to move my body. Like, humans like routine. So for me, it would be like to my husband, Neil, you're in charge. I'm going to move my body at this time every day. Like, I think I would set a goal for myself. I had to go for my walk before my first cocktail. So that would like make sure I got it done.
I like that. You got it done real early.
Moving my body, drinking my water, trying to get good sleep still, because when you're tired, you're going to be craving more carbohydrates. Like, just prioritizing sleep even when I'm on vacation. That's why cocktail hour starts early, guys. So you can go to bed by 9-10 p.m. Like, it's a formula. I've got it figured out.
Yeah.
And just having options in the house where we are. Like, and maybe it's like a treat salad. Like, maybe it's like a more calorie dense salad than I normally would, but it's like so yummy. And that's the way I'm having a difference. Or like, maybe it's the dressing. I don't know, but it's like a way to have it feel different, but that doesn't have to mean excess.
It's just like Saturday versus Monday. Like, Saturday will always be different than a Monday. It will always be. And for us to be like, you should show up the same on the weekend because it shouldn't. No, that's not how life works. That's not how society works. It's the same as vacation. You will not show up exactly on vacation, and you don't have to, and you shouldn't show up exactly on vacation as you would on Monday at work. No, guys, you're on vacation. You figure out a system on vacation that aligns with who you want to be on vacation. It's that simple.
And for another one for me too is portions. Like,
Right.
I want to eat whatever is being served. Let's say we're with other people and they make a meal. I want to eat that, but I am also in control how much of that I eat. So
Yeah.
portions are huge for me,
Yeah.
especially on vacation.
Yeah.
And guys, if you have day one, you don't show up as who you want to be, it's not over.
I
It's
love
not like,
that.
well, I guess it's over. Like, you have an opportunity the next day to show up more as vacation Josee or vacation Alicia. Like, don't let one afternoon or one day define how you show up the rest of the vacation.
Absolutely. And like when I got back from that trip and gained 13 pounds, it's not like I was like, oh, that was worth it. Like I could, if I arrive from my 18 days being away and I gain 4 pounds, let's say, I think that's actually really reasonable. I think that's like, and you gain, it's not about the weight. It's about like, wow, what a fun vacation. I felt good all vacation. I felt like I was like my best self. I moved my body. I drank water. And now I'm back home and if I choose to, I can work on this 4 pounds or not. I could care less. It's when you arrive and you have 10 pounds and you're like, I felt like shit the whole time. And I know I exaggerate and you're not proud of how you acted. Don't just think that like being proud is about what the scale is telling you. Being proud is how you're showing up and how you feel like you're being who you want to be.
And you know what? Sometimes I think about people that like, they're going on like all inclusive or whatever, and they do like months of this intenseness. Okay. And then they get there and literally after one day, they're all like bloated because they just ate absolutely everything. And they like worked so hard to like look a certain way in their bathing suit. And they get about 5 hours of that. Like just that focus is, pre-vacation isn't about like, how can I look as good as possible in my bathing suit for 5 hours?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like that was me on my wedding.
Absolutely. You said I do,
was
and then the dress blew open.
literally.
I also remember like I want to go back 10 years, like pre-kids. Okay. I remember I would like get to, and I was like heavier than I am right now, but I would definitely still want to like look the best possible for that first picture in a bathing suit.
Okay.
So I'd be like, Jeff, I still remember that one time. Like, I think it was like 116. I felt really good in my skin. And I was like, oh my God, like this is the bathing suit. This is where I'll be standing. And this is the picture I'll be posting. Like, just like, and again, we grow up so much and like what was important to us. It's like almost like when we see people like freaking out about their prom dresses, we're like, oh my God. You know what I mean? But we were I was that person when I was 17 as well. It's just like you grow up and you're like, priorities change.
Yeah.
So right now, what's important to me is like that I look happy in my pictures, that I seem to be living like an amazing life. Like, it's not about like, oh, look at how good she looks,
You want, like, what you want is to be so comfortable in your skin that you are able to fully be in the moment with your family and also like physically able to walk around Disney for hours. Like that, to me, that should be driving our choices for how we look on vacation.
Right. Yes, that was good. All I want to do is be able to follow the crowd. You know what I mean? That's what I want. I don't want to be standing there and being like, oh, my weight is like making me be so hot and so uncomfortable in my tank top, Like, I just like want to be comfortable in my skin. That's a thing, you guys, and it's a very important thing.
Yeah. No, for me, that really drives me because I remember times where my weight was like causing me to like not fully enjoy an experience because even just like physically, like walking, there's a lot of walking.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
A lot of chafing.
Yes, there is. You got to wear the right things. This was I feel like what we do is create awareness. So if there's anything in this podcast, you're like, man, I do that. I wonder why. Again, it took me years in order. And also you can notice something about yourself or you can be aware about something about yourself and you choose not to change it. And like, I know for years, Alicia watched me, weekdays being very restricted. Like, that's how I chose my life, and weekends kind of given her. And I could see other people choosing their own way differently, but I wasn't ready to make that change. For me, that was my way. So that's why we never, ever make someone feel like their way is not the right way. It's just always like, you could also do this. You could also try this. And if you're not ready, that's okay. Like if you feel like the way you're behaving is giving you the results you want and you feel like you don't want to make changes right now and you're not ready, it's okay. You can just flirt with other ideas, test them out. This is life. This is not just a start and end thing, you know? So do your thing, you guys.
Yep.
Okay, well, that was great. Follow us everywhere. Do your thing. You know what to do. Share our podcast. Hopefully, you took advantage.
We were number 67 last week. Did you see that?
In Canada?
Yes.
We're like killing it, you guys.
So, and the ratings really help if you guys give us stars and reviews.
Yes.
So if you could do that, we appreciate like that. We get an email once a week magically from people. We don't really know why or how, but it shows us new reviews and it really fills our bucket. So if you could take a minute to do that, that would be amazing.
Very, very soon, Alicia, we're going to hit 500,000 downloads.
That's insane.
Yeah. Okay, everyone. So again, thank you so much for listening to us. We love this platform. It's one of our favorites. Have a great day. Look us up we're everywhere: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Your Way Weight Loss. Watch videos. Keep listening to other podcasts. Bye.
Bye.